Hmm? Who the hell are you guys? Oh, wow. Oh my God. So, hi everybody. How's everyone doing? Okay, I've just finished watching the new Avengers Infinity War trailer that Marvel released earlier today, and oh my God, the chills, the feels, the emotions. 10 years in the making. 10 years. I still am I don't know how to put it. You know, Marvel have done really well. I was tweeting last night because obviously they announced that they were going to release the trailer today. And I was tweeting last night how, for me as a DC Comics fan, this is where I think DC should have been. This is what should have been their journey. And it pains me to say it that Warners have just shot themselves in the foot with everything that they've done, from Man of Steel to Justice League, um, Wonder Woman being the main exception because everybody loved Wonder Woman, but all the other films that they have released so far and all the announcements they've made, it just doesn't make one feel you know that they want to invest in Warners in that sense. Whereas with Marvel, you know, they took a risk. They took a risk back in 2008, or at least when it all started, 2005, 2006, whenever it was officially announced that they were going to start their proper, cinematic universe with Iron Man. And at the time, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how things were going to shape out. But Kevin Feige, he obviously had the idea. He, clearly knew what was going to happen. He had an idea and thought, let's see where this takes us. And here we are. Avengers Infinity War is pretty much the baby of everything that has come before it. Don't get me wrong, Marvel haven't been without their faults over the past decade. We'll remember when Kenneth Branagh was supposed to have directed the second Thor movie, then he got kicked off the project due to creative differences. Everybody knows what's happened with Ant-Man. They have had some changes here and there. Obviously, when Ant-Man was, well received in the cinemas, and they announced the sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they had to jiggle around their phase 3/phase 4 movies, and there's been other issues. We all remember what happened with the first Iron Man film. Terrence Howard was playing, you know, James Rhodes, and then he got taken off and then was replaced by Don Cheadle. Contracting issues, same thing with Edward Norton in The Incredible Hulk. Then obviously he got replaced by Mark Ruffalo. So Marvel have had their issues, but they've still carried on. They've gone ahead with it. Some films weren't as well received as others. Iron Man 3 being the most notable, Thor: The Dark World as well, another one, and Age of Ultron, the second Avengers movie. These are some of the films that weren't so well received by fans and critics alike. But overall, Marvel have gone from strength to strength. They have invested, they have brought on great actors, great directors, screenwriters, uh, music composers as well. They have done well bringing Spider-Man back into the fold as well, being part of the Avengers as well, even better. And we also know obviously the story behind Joss Whedon and how he felt after Age of Ultron. He wanted to bring Spider-Man in, but Marvel were like, no, not the right time. But then they went ahead and did it for Civil War anyway. So Joss wasn't happy. So he's just left Marvel in that sense, in the movie side of things. And let's not forget, they've got their TVs as well. They've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They've got The Gifted, which is doing brilliantly, by the way. They're bringing out Cloak and Dagger. They've also got The Runaways as well. They are Marvel are producing, these shows and these movies. I know that I know I mentioned The Gifted. I know The Gifted is more to do with X-Men, so that's more Fox. So ignore that for the time being. So forget I said that. And also, I think the Runaways is also part of that universe as well. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and of course Iron Fist, the Defenders, you know, they are also part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Whether we're going to see those guys in some capacity in the films, especially in Infinity War, who knows? And if you also notice in the trailer for Infinity War, there was no sign of one Captain Marvel being played by Brie Larson. Um, but that's not to say she won't appear in it. But we see how Wakanda, the country of the technology, the advanced technological country that Black Panther is from, clearly in the trailer features quite heavily, okay, as well as New York, and how awesomely badass does Thanos look. He's not got his full armor on, and he just looks so menacing. It's just unbelievable. And I like Spider-Man's now wearing the new Iron Spider suit as well. You know, it's great to see that. Tony Stark, we see him in a couple of moments where he's got the Hulkbuster as well as his Iron Man suit. And then Captain America, full-on beard. You got T'Challa saying, you know, protect the city, engage all defenses, and get this man a shield. And you just see him just emerge. And how about Vision, looking all human as well? Something definitely interesting going on there, because we see a moment in the trailer where his mind gem is being, you know, pretty much taken out of his head, but he's there with Wanda Maximoff, you know, Scarlet Witch. So something going on there. Black Widow has had her hair changed; she's now blonde. There's all sorts going on there, and at the very end of the trailer, we see Thor. You know, as you heard me at the beginning of the film, at the beginning of this video, who the hell are you guys? And there they are, the Guardians of the Galaxy. No more introduction is needed from those people. They are there. They're ready. They are ready to kick some serious galactic cosmic ass. And of course, we've got Doctor Strange in there as well. So, and obviously, don't forget Winter Soldier's in there as well. I mean, pretty much everybody is going to be in this movie. You know, the Russo brothers said that there's going to be no less than 67 characters are going to be in this film. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And then it's interesting, we see Tom Holland's Peter Parker on the bus, his hair tingling, it just spikes up because his spidey sense are tingling, and it's just great. I just felt that's how I actually felt watching that trailer, just epic tingles right there. So like I say, you know what, I've got to applaud Marvel, I've got to applaud Kevin Feige, and even when they got bought out by Disney, they were put up to the highest pedestal possible, because Disney just said, here's a ton of cash, go enjoy yourself, do what you want to do, you know, do it. And look what they've produced. You know, Warner's and DC really should have been on the bandwagon long before this, but they are now just playing a chasing game. And I hate to say it, but I just feel that the DCEU is just, I don't think I'm gonna be as heavily invested in it as I would have been at the beginning, as I used to be. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy Justice League. I just wish there was more to it. 2 hours wasn't enough. There was so much more that I felt could have gone on for the film, and I still feel that whilst Zack Snyder may not have finished the film, if they do release some form of his version of the film, whether it's in 30 years' time or whatever, I would love to see it. I really would love to see it, because there was so much that went on in the trailers that didn't appear in the films, in the film itself. So hopefully one day we'll see. Who knows? But for Marvel, geez, so much going on, so much anticipation. Obviously, before Infinity War, we will see Black Panther's solo movie in February of 2018. And not to make you Americans feel jealous or anything, but obviously over here in the UK, we will have both, I would imagine, Black Panther and clearly Infinity War a week before you guys. So sorry, not sorry. But I'm there at midnight for the show, for the midnight showing. When that comes out here in the UK, I am there. Okay, first in line, ready, in my seat, waiting to watch our film. I'm looking forward to it. But seriously, kudos to Marvel. A decade in the making. Loads of films have been released now. I think about 20 odd, maybe. There's been a fair amount of movies that have been released. I think nearly 20 movies now. So we've already had the Captain America trilogy. We've had the Iron Man trilogy. We've now had the Thor trilogy. We've had two Guardians of the Galaxy films. We've had an Ant-Man film. We've had a Doctor Strange film. We've had two Avengers movies as well. We've even had an Incredible Hulk in there as well. So, wow, so much has gone on. It's incredible. You know, we're due a Captain Marvel movie, as I've already mentioned. Black Panther's coming out. Sequel to Ant-Man, aka Ant-Man and the Wasp, will be out soon. Will be out as well. You know, so much is going on. What's going to become of Captain America? You know, what is going to become of him? Who knows? Will we still see Iron Man in some capacity? I don't know. You know, these are the things that questions will be asked from people, because certain characters will eventually leave or move on, and obviously they're bringing in the new, as I like to call it, maybe the new Avengers. That's why you've got Spider-Man. That's why you're going to bring in Captain Marvel. You've got Black Panther. You've got Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, as well in there. So there's definitely room to grow. That's for sure. Room to grow. But seriously, you know, hand on heart, I will say it right now. Marvel have done exceptionally well. You know, they really have it done really well with the cinematic universe. So hats off to everybody involved, and even the casting has been top notch. You know, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. When that got announced, nobody would have put that together. But how perfect was that casting? Absolutely perfect. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Chris Evans as Captain America. Never in a million years would I have pegged him to be Captain America, ever. If you'd have said to me a decade ago that Chris Evans was going to play Captain America, I'd be like, hey, what? The guy that played Johnny Storm in the first two Fantastic Four films? No chance. But he has done well. He has just progressed further and further. He's done really well. Benedict Cumberbatch, obviously, as Doctor Strange. Yes, the obvious choice, but for me, I wish it had gone to Oded Fair. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Paul Bettany moving from Jarvis across to Vision. And then obviously Gwyneth Paltrow there as Pepper Potts. You know, bringing in Josh Brolin as the voice of Thanos as well. And, you know, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. You know, all of these actors and actresses that have been cast has just been phenomenal. It really has been phenomenal. So I cannot wait to see what the next 10 years hold for Marvel and their cinematic universe. So yeah, I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm just in awe. I really am just in awe. I'm just so pleased that we actually have one comic book entity out of so many that are actually one, investing in those characters, investing in their actors and actresses that they brought on, investing in the fans and their interest. Yes, as I said, some films weren't well received, but Marvel have done a few changes here and there and said, okay, that wasn't well received because of this. What can we do to change it for next time? And you know, they've done well. They have gone on, they have progressed, they have announced the films that they're going to bring out. The films that they haven't brought out, they've made some changes, most notably, obviously, Inhumans. I know a lot of people didn't like the TV series. I know that they were supposed to put out a film version of that, but then they switched to TV version instead. I enjoyed the Inhumans, didn't have a problem with it at all. Yes, it was a bit corny in certain areas, but hey, what comic book, movie, TV show these days doesn't have a little bit of cheese in it? So even the most serious of them has a bit of cheese in it, and it's expected. It's what comics are about. So but yeah, overall, everything that Marvel have done so far, so good. Cannot wait to see what the next decade brings. So let me know what you thought of the trailer, and who knows what sort of event is going to come out next year in line with the film. I would imagine in America they will do an epic marathon of every single Marvel film to date in the run-up to Infinity War. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that all pans out. But seeing all these characters coming together as one for the greater good, going up against Thanos and his I think it's called the Black Order. That'll be interesting. I cannot wait to see just how it's going to be such a monumental scale of a movie that I don't think we will have ever seen. The amount of characters alone involved is just mind blowing. So, how the film itself is going to pan out, how long it's going to be on for, if it's 3.5 hours, I'm good. I'm happy for a 3.5 hour movie. Okay, please, if it is a 3.5 hour movie, I'm happy for that. Don't split it or anything. I know that they want to do that. There's going to be a sequel to this Infinity War, but again, if the first one is about 3.5 hours, I'm happy. I don't care if I have to spend 3.5 hours in the cinema and watch that film. I'm good. Please let it happen. But yeah, so like I say, kudos to Marvel, kudos to Feige, and just everybody else involved. Seriously, hats off to you. This DC Comics fan is in absolute awe of everything that you guys have achieved. And for whatever else comes next, I'm looking forward to it. Really, I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, that's it from me. I am going to stop there. All I'll say to end with, Warners, this could have been this could have been you. Okay? This could have been you, but never mind. It is what it is. So there. Thank you all very much. See you all very soon.